Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the super, not funny show, Supercast. The Supercast, where we talk about all things superhero in pop culture. And we're talking about movies, TV shows, video games, and of course, we talk about news and speculation, all that good and nerdy stuff. I am Mo They Poupe, your resident fabricant and comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Lottie. Lottie, how you doing this evening?
Doing great. Got a good workout in. Um, saw a little bit of the multiverses gameplay. Laughed my ass off because of Tom's death scream. So yeah, man,
That game's
enjoyed
looking
myself.
good. That game is
Yeah,
looking
it
good.
actually really is.
I've been, I'm a fighting game fan, so I've been sort of following what some of the pros are talking, some of the content creators are talking about. I've been hearing nothing but good from people who've been playing the alpha, so I'm
Yeah, they
looking
said
forward
the
to us
game
playing it.
is really, really. They said it's like really fast. It's a fast paced game.
Right, so I'm probably gonna be bad at it, but I will, I will be playing it. Anyway, you guys, welcome to our 52nd episode. So technically, it's been a whole year, entire year since we've been doing this weekly podcast. Can't believe all that time ago we started out, and more. It's been more than a year technically because we did the Invincible cast that kind of led up to us doing uh, this one. Just all about us being superhero and superhero TV movie nerds and geeks, and just wanted to talk about it and share our insights and just kind of our opinions about things. And so it's been a good year, man. I've enjoyed this, and I
Yep.
hope we have many more going forward. But I know today was supposed to be our special anniversary episode, but we're saving that for the 53rd one to technically start off our next year on a high note, if you will. So you guys come back next week for that. But in the meantime, we're going to do, as usual, our news roundup. We're going to look at all of the goings on that are going on in Hollywood related to superhero media, and after that, we're going to have our main topic where we're talking about how comic book fans are going to be eating like Diane Keaton in the summer. There's lots and lots of stuff to consume, so we're going to talk about all that later. But first, in our news, uh, we're going to be talking about Stan Lee coming to the MCU, or probably, or something, coming to something Marvel for the next 20 years. Uh, what's going on with that? A new Daredevil series for Disney Plus has been announced. More unfortunate, unfortunately, more Amber Heard and Johnny Depp news. What does that mean for Aquaman? And then we do some trailer talk. We got three new trailers this last week: The Umbrella Academy, Miss Marvel, and Thor 4. And lastly, in our news, we're going to talk a little bit about the Miss Marvel series that's coming up. Like, hard to believe it, and something like 12 or 13 days. So, man, that's it's like a bunch of cool stuff going on. So, Lottie, you ready to get into this news?
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Let's go.
Let's go. So, everyone knows Stan Lee, Stan the Man, Excelsior, and all that stuff. One of my personal, heroes in terms of comics industry, and I've been reading his. I used to read Stan's soapbox back in the day when I used to read comics, when they used to put those in the comic books. And of course, if you've ever watched any MCU thing, you've seen Stan show up. It's just kind of his thing to cameo in all of the Marvel movies, including the non MCU things. The Marvel movies going back to X Men and so forth. Just kind of when you think of Marvel, you think of Stan Lee. And of course, unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago. And we thought that's it. No more Stan Lee cameos. The very last one we all remember, which, Lottie, I know you love this one, the one in Into the Spider Verse, which
Yeah.
was pretty amazing to me. So if we figure that's it, right? Well, apparently Marvel has licensed with Stan Lee's estate, like the company and everything, his likeness and his voice, and I guess his sayings and all that for, I'm assuming for use in all sorts of Marvel products, which kind of begs the question: why would they spend? It's a 20-year thing, so for the next 20 years they're secure. One, well, there's some questions. What exactly do they mean by likeness and whatnot, right? And two, are we going to be seeing deep faked? Are we going to be seeing deep fake Stan Lee in the MCU? Like we saw deep fake, Luke Skywalker in the
It's
Mandalorian.
coming. It's coming. It's coming.
You know what? When I wrote this in the notes, you know what I said? But why? Because I love Stan. Look, I have lifelong affection for Stan Lee. Always love seeing him show up in things. But why though? Ladi, why would they do this? Now, I think I understand why from a business standpoint, but just like it seems weird.
Let me tell you something. You know the reason why I want to put Stan Lee's deep fake into Marvel? Because it's about that dollar sign, baby. It's all about that dollar sign. I know it's going to be a little weird because we're going to be like, all right, come on now. I mean, they're going to deep fake him into a movie.
My question is, because obviously they're not going to get somebody else to do his voice.
Yeah.
That would be fucking weird. So they're just going to use canned, expressions that he's used. Are they just going to
that editing team?
Are they just
that editing team about to get paid?
Are they just going to pop his face in and it's one thing like if the cameo is just like him on a billboard or something or like a poster like come meet Stan. That's one thing, but it's just I feel like this is a situation where it sounds like it's so totally innocent until you think about it, and then I'm just like, don't. But
what this sounds like?
Yeah.
Sounds like Tupac.
Yeah.
How they're dropping Tupac albums. How they're still dropping Tupac albums to this day. You're like, how do they still get him on Tupac? And like he still got lyrics out there, man. We're gonna put it into a song.
They're gonna make a hologram, Stan Lee. That's it just feels weird to me.
It just feels dirty.
It feels very strange. On the other hand, in Feige we trust. I just have to believe that Kevin Feige would step in and be like, no, like if it's ridiculous, because he and Stan Lee knew each other for quite a while. Before the MCU and Marvel Studios was a thing. When they were making X-Men movies. So it's not like he didn't know the guy. I feel like for some reason I trust Kevin Feige to make the tasteful decision. So that's what I'm gonna hope. And I don't think this would tarnish Stan Lee's legacy. It would just tarnish Disney and Marvel in the eyes of the consumer if they do weird and ghoulish crap with his likeness. So
yeah,
hopefully they'll do the right thing. Look at us praying that a corporation does the right thing. Oh. Woo.
Ain't happening.
Well, yeah. So anyway, we'll let you guys know more about that as more is revealed. A great announcement this week. One that if you watch Spider-Man No Way Home or just in general were paying any kind of attention over the last year, in which Charlie Cox was just like, I don't know anything about what's Spider-Man. What's this? I don't know what's a Marvel. I don't know what these things mean. And then of course he was in No Way Home, and so obviously the immediate speculation was, oh, are they doing more Daredevil? Especially because Kevin Feige was like, if there is going to be a Daredevil for the MCU, it's going to be Charlie Cox. So surprising 0 people on the planet Earth. A new Daredevil series has been announced, starring, we're presuming, the entire original cast of the Netflix Daredevil series. Surprised, Ladi? Or, are you taken aback at this news?
When you said surprise, I thought about like how the Dave Chappelle surprise. Like, no, I'm not surprised. We knew this was coming, especially the simple fact he was in No Way Home. Like, man, they're pretty much laying this up. I mean, like I said, I will love to see him in what's the movie? I mean, the TV show. She Hulk getting clotheslined by She Hulk in the in, in the courtroom because hey, it's a super powered courtroom. I mean, it's just setting it up.
I will just have to say there is speculation that Matt Murdock should be showing up in this. It would make the most sense. I mean, you're right. They're two superpowered lawyers. Why not? There is a question. So again, surprising no one just got announced, and confirming rumors that have been swirling around for the better part of a year. The question is, what version of Daredevil are we going to see here? Is this a soft reboot where we got everyone back, but they sort of don't really talk about, it's like we don't talk about Bruno, we don't talk about Netflix, right? It's some things that happened fuzzily in the past. Is it a direct sequel to those? It does acknowledge everything that happened in the Netflix series. Or is it just an alternate universe where none of that stuff happened, but the same characters that you know and love are more or less written the same way? That's not an entirely, there's no real indication anyway that they plan to go. But there is a good indication that they are bringing the main cast back. To which I say yay, because that means that if they start there, maybe they'll build out the rest of the Netflix shows into something. I know a lot of people really want to see Punisher. I personally want to see Iron Fist, that everyone seems to hate, and I think was okay, but I want Iron Fist to come up because they need to redeem that character because Danny Rand is awesome. So,
I'm just saying, if they do, God, I forgot his name, the black dude.
Luke Cage.
You better do. Yeah, if they do Luke Cage, it better be 70s. Like I'm talking about, he's talking like he's an old 70s pimp. I was all about that slicing and dicing. If they bring it back, I want it to be 70s spoof.
They can't.
Like,
all that stuff happened. But you remember Mahershala Ali? He was the bad guy in the first season of that. So, but he's coming back as Blade. So you know what? It's all over the place, and it's fine. The fact that they're making Daredevil at all is awesome. Yeah, because people have been asking like, oh, we need some more, more grown up stuff. To which I say, sure, why not? We also need more, younger focused or all ages appropriate stuff too. Like, I get it, aging nerds, I get it. You want, grown up superhero stuff, but kids do need to watch some of this stuff too. So maybe they can dial some of that back because it doesn't need to be rated R in order to be good, right? I don't think Daredevil has to be rated R to be good any more than I think Batman has to be rated R to be good. You can kind of skirt that line without like traumatizing children. So.
Deadpool has to be rated R. I don't care. It has to be. That has to be.
They somehow managed to make him work within animation. So I mean, I'm not saying that that's.
But it's animation. Yeah. Like in animation, for you to be rated R, you literally have to be slicing people. Honestly, you like will have to do like slicing people in half type stuff.
Hit monkey, basically.
Yeah, you'll have to do like over the top violence in animation to be rated R.
Yeah. But we'll see. I think that this is probably going to be it's probably going to be more of the adult version. I'm really excited. Can't wait to see. And when we hear more about the production and all that, we'll let you guys know. Let's get this junk out of the way. A story that doesn't seem to want to fucking go away. It's like roaches in your house. No matter how much you fumigate and send you have the exterminator come in, they still keep coming back. The fucking Amber
I always come back.
Fucking Amber Heard. It's like black mold. every time you think like you've seen the last of it, more of it creeps in.
Yep.
Anyway, Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, they're going through their thing. Last we heard, Amber Heard was like, "Hey, I totally lost out on some, opportunities and screen time, etc. in Aquaman 2 because of this." And so, in response to that, this is the news. Walter Hamada, who's the president of DC Films, is set to testify at this hearing, at this trial, to say that's not true. He says that it's not true that she lost out on time or whatever. I guess I'm assuming he's going to say it was due to the story and all this other stuff, and not due to the controversy or anything like that, and trying to distance themselves from her. And if you're a Johnny Depp fan, you're like, ha ha, smoking gun. And if you're an Amber Heard fan, you're just like, he's just a suit talking to say it to cover his ass, right? That's the way they're gonna say it. That's the way they're gonna spin it. If you're I don't give a shit, why do I have to give a crap about this? Like me, you're just like, okay, whatever. So, to be honest, if the way I look at it is, both sides could be totally right. I absolutely believe that this is a cover your ass moment. Yeah, Ladi, for real. Think about any time some embarrassing shit comes up that's got receipts that corporations have to suddenly start scrambling around. Doesn't it sound like this? Like, oh, deny, right?
Yeah.
Why the fuck? Why can't this go away? That's my overall question. But two, related to superhero stuff. Do you really? I mean, in your mind, what do you think the more likely have been true?
Oh, she got canned. I think she got canned. Because why? I don't see the point of her. I mean, she is a liar, but I don't see the point of her lying about it, because what would she gain from it? I mean, yeah, she might gain some sympathy, but telling a bold-faced lie like that, which can easily be like proven wrong, will not help her at all in this case.
Proven wrong though? That's my thing. This is one of those like, think about it in regular people terms. When someone's quote let go due to just not incompatibility with the office culture, or we decided to go in another direction, or you get what I'm saying? You could easily make up reasons why you're getting rid of someone that doesn't have anything to do with what's actually going on, just to make it sound good. So I mean, my thing is, I think again they could both be right. It could be, yes, we did shorten this because she's being a pain, so we're gonna cover her ass. Like, see, also, like, I think Ezra Miller's character in Fantastic Beasts 3 was sort of, his involvement was decreased because of all the foolishness over the last couple years with him, and it could easily be that here also. But it could also be true that if you're looking at it from Johnny Depp's standpoint, that it could also be true that, hey, we weren't really trying to do this. That was just the way the story played itself out. I mean, who knows? All it seems, the way it seems to affect what we care about, which is the movie, is that we're not going to see her very much in this movie.
Yep.
Right? Like, she is at home, barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. It would seem, and to that end, like, maybe that's a good idea for the movie. Maybe that works and really delivers a story that's good. On the other hand, why the fuck would you sideline an ass kicker like Mara? Unless Amber Heard is causing you too much problems PR wise. I just wonder. I mean, I really do wonder, why wouldn't you otherwise? Which isn't to say I'm supporting her side. I'm just saying, if I were a studio exec, I'd be like, can we, I've known about this for a few years. I'd be like, can we like decrease the amount? We gotta pay her. We gotta have her in this movie. Can we just decrease how much she's in it? So, we don't have to keep answering stupid ass questions about her problems.
Yeah.
Just what it seems like to me. So, I wish I could say we're not going to talk about this again, but we probably will. But fuck, I hate this story. I wish it. Can't wait till it goes away. And hey, this is the last week of the trial, so probably we'll still be talking about it next year. So we'll see, Ladi. We'll see what we have to say about it in the coming months. All right, let's move on to something actually fun. We're going to talk about. We're going to do trailer talk. We got 3 trailers that came out this last week, that, including one that just dropped today. That's really awesome. Why don't we talk about that one? It's fresh in our mind, right? Let's talk about the Thor 4 trailer. This follows up on the teaser trailer that we've been sort of like looking over last month, like a few weeks, a month or something like that. But it is coming out within a couple months, so they finally put out a real trailer. And let me say, it's pretty awesome. Am I wrong? Like, Taika Waititi, it's like he knows everything that I want to see in a Thor movie, and he just throws it all on the screen. And I'm there for it. Before I give my full thoughts on it, though, Ladi, what'd you think about it?
You already know one of my opinions of the movie is that when all the gods are assembled, if I do not see fucking Khonshu in this movie, just give me 30 seconds of Khonshu. Just 30 seconds is all I'm asking. But hey, I love the trailer. I enjoyed it. It's kind of cool that she can make she can make Mjolnir explode, and she can shoot like shrapnel at people and then reform it. That's kind of, I ain't gonna lie, that was kind of badass. Then the part where Zeus was like, let's see who you really are, like, phew. And he was like, and all the women had just passed out. They're all like, should we help him?
Let me tell you what. Can I tell you? I cannot wait to see the new best girlfriends banter between Jane and Valkyrie, because I love that entire energy right there. They're just like, we'll help them eventually. I was like, let's go. Those ladies, let me tell you, remember we were talking about that little still picture of them, seeing them in movement and interacting with each other. It's even better. It's even better than that picture.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth continues to show that the guy's a great comedic actor. He's great. From this little trailer, everything I loved about Thor and Ragnarok is there, completely on display. All the CG work on here is so far top notch. It looks like a Jack Kirby, like it is 100% looks like a Jack Kirby drawing brought to life, and I mean that in the best possible way. All of his new guys, remember how the new guys and stuff look in the comics? It's like that, and it looks ridiculous in the best possible way. Like that metal helmet that Thor was wearing when he first discovers that Jane's there. I'm just like, what is
Mjolnir?
And it doesn't come to him. Yeah, I love it.
She was fucking with him. That was fucked up. I said when I first saw that, I was like, she's fucking with him. She knew that he was. That's how she was going to get his attention.
I love the whole, trying to get back with my ex-girlfriend vibe that's going on there, and he's just kind of thirsty. And then, there's just like,
he was like, "You missed her." Nah, I mean, yeah.
There's all.
But did you hear? But this confirmed. The trailer confirmed she got snapped.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah,
she got snapped. It confirmed that she got snapped because she was like, "Has it been 4 years?" And he's like, "It's been like 9."
Well, yeah, he was like 8 years and something, 6 months. Yeah, so it's definitely been. She definitely was gone over that time period. Which I think will be interesting if they do the cancer storyline.
So that makes sense. Works out. Yeah, so it makes sense why they're technically not together, because she's been gone.
But they weren't together before the snap.
Oh, I know that. It's just because he technically disappeared after what was that movie? Endgame. I mean, not Endgame. The Age of Ultron.
Yeah. So there's all of that, but everything looks really cool. I mean, we still got to see Russell Crowe as Zeus. We saw plenty of action. Korg was there talking what looked like the Navi from Avatar, but but not quite Navi. Um, we also I also finally got our first look at Gore the God Butcher, and my God, Christian Bale he looks fucking awesome.
That's Christian Bale. Holy shit!
Christian Bale, and he's playing Gore the God Butcher by way of Lord Voldemort. Ray.
Yeah, because it does look like, I was just gonna say this looks like Lord Voldemort.
But I'm telling you, man, I kind of love it. He looks like he is going to give them the business. Like not playing. Somebody might die up in this piece. Somebody I love, so a character I love might die in this piece. Because we saw Valkyrie fighting him with that God slaying sword, and I was just like, oh hell no, you better not be killing Valkyrie right now. So I was about to be hot. So I just want to say that's another great trailer. I loved everything about it, and I'm just super hyped for this movie. It looks awesome. I'm assuming you feel the same way.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. I can't wait. I'm losing. I'm excited for it. I'm very excited. It's the second most, and it's my second most anticipated movie of this year.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say it is right now, but I haven't seen the trailer for Black Panther yet. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I will also still say, as hyped up as I was for that, I am still looking forward to Miss Marvel more, which is a good segue. Let's talk about the Miss Marvel trailer. It's a 1 minute trailer for the TV show, the show that's starting up next week, for which I am extremely hyped for. What wasn't they included a lot of stuff we saw before, but we finally saw more of her powers and how they're working. And they seem to be like a sort of a mashup of Green Lantern, and also sort of her stretchy powers and stuff like that. So we saw we saw more of that, and I will have to say, you also can tell this is definitely for a TV show. The polish and like grandeur of Thor versus this one. It's not quite the same because it's not just smaller scale, but also, again, it's for a TV show. But all that being said, Ladi, what do you think about what do you think about this trailer, and what's it doing for your hype level for this show?
I'm excited for the show because I'm excited to see what they're doing with their powers. Like I said, because the thing about it is what I'm looking at, like, oh, okay, so I'm like, okay, so there's a lot of people that are like upset that they changed their powers. I would have been in that same realm, but what's keeping me from that same realm is the fact that I thought they just gave her like cosmic powers. I'll just be like, why? But they're doing it more of like it's an item. And what this automatically goes into my mind, and this might be speculation, and I might be 1000% wrong, but my mind goes to, holy shit, is this connecting to what's it called, Shang-Chi, with the rings that are there, like these mythical human base items that humans had since like the dawn of time, or since like the dawn of humanity, and been guarding, and she just came across one of them, and I'm just like, oh shit, this could also connect to the Eternals. You know what I mean? There's just so much.
Yeah.
in my opinion, they're doing the right thing, because in just my opinion, I think the Inhumans should be put on the back of the back burners, because they haven't even introduced the mutants yet. So there's no way you should introduce Inhumans way before the mutants. So that shit needs to get put in the back. So them putting this into it opens so much more into the story than just her being just an Inhuman with stretchy powers. I mean, like, okay, cool, a rubber band chick. I mean, come on, man. Like,
which
that
I'll
was
take it, because I feel like in some ways, she kind of uses her stretchy powers better than Reed Richards. Her usage of it is, it's kind of like with, you know, how if you have a Green Lantern ring, some people are more creative with it than not. A lot of Reed stuff is just it's just going long, so to speak.
yeah. He's not very. He's
Yeah.
not. And plus, isn't her powers also kinetic? Like, she has like kinetic powers.
I think from what I remember, it's just mostly just stretchy, but she also increases density, etc. if she wants to. And this one, like I said, it's a little more Green Lantern-y, for which, and I'm not mad about that at all. There's a lot of, like you said, a lot of people that are mad about her powers not being the same, and I'm just like, they changed lots of things to fit the, what they're trying to do. It's okay. You gotta stick with the kernel of the character. Like the powers are the powers are the paint job, you know. So you're mad. Okay, they changed, instead of being red, it's purple. That it's still the same damn car underneath it. That's the point. Anyway,
Yeah.
and I understand there may be a part of it, but whatever. It's
Because she still has stretchy powers.
yeah. There's some aspects of it that that are related to the character being able to shapeshift, and I'm like, okay, we lose that, but I don't think it's so big that we have to have it. As far as this trailer though, I mean, thank you. Keep on giving me more hype. You see, I think what they're not explaining, but we're seeing her being a daydreamer, dreaming about her, because she writes fan fiction. She's dreaming about, what it's like to be a superhero and Captain Marvel and all that other stuff.
Yeah, she says she could just hug Captain Marvel to get rights to use her helmet.
Yeah, it says stuff like that, but then you see a very Peter Parker-ish like aspect to her. And also, what I think is super important, and this is directly related to the character. It's just, this isn't them, shoehorning anything in. This goes back to the way the character was created. Her, her Pakistani heritage, and her parents, her parents, wanting, supporting her as a person, and then she's going on trying to be a superhero, and she has a secret identity. Her culture is important. That to me. That's what I want to see. That to be true to the character, damn the stretchy powers. What's more true to her character is her culture and how she's, one foot in both worlds. That's what to me is important. And also just wanting to be a good person, and being inspired by superheroes instead of mad at them. Because she lives in a world. This is the thing. She lives in a world where a lot of people like superheroes, but a lot of people don't like them too, because of the Sokovia Accords are pretty much the people being like, no, you guys can't just be doing whatever. And then they broke the Sokovia. They violated the Sokovia Accords in order to bring back people from the blip, right? And so there's like this push and pull between people that really love them, which she's one of those people who wants to go to this convention, that really loves the heroes. Other people that don't trust them with the power they have. And I want to kind of see that, that push and pull within this show. So either way, love the trailer. Super hyped for this. It's coming out next week, so we're gonna talk about it, and we'll be doing our weekly reviews of it next week. All right, final trailer, and I'm gonna do this one solo. But first, I did not know prior to this recording that Ladi's never seen one episode of Umbrella Academy. To which I say, how dare you, sir? How dare you call yourself a comic book fan? This is a comic book. How dare you say you're a comic book fan and you haven't watched Umbrella Academy? That's fine.
I actually don't have an excuse for this one.
No excuse. I feel certain I've talked to you about this show before.
Multiple times.
So, season 3 is about to come up. Come up very soon, actually. I believe it's June 22nd. They released the season 3 trailer, and it's nuts. The trailer's nuts. Did you watch the trailer, or do you know anything that happened on it within it? Do you understand anything that's going on?
I tried. I actually was going to watch it, but then I was like, maybe I should watch this show, so I don't want to spoil anything.
Well, let's just say it follows up on a pretty interesting second season that involves time travel, and the third season is the ramifications of that time travel when they save the world again. But they kind of do a Back to the Future sort of situation. Back to the Future 2, if you catch the reference. So they go back to the future, and it's just like things are different. And let me tell you, this trailer's really great. It tells you a lot without like giving away a lot. It has all the characters' personalities that you love and expect from the first 2 seasons, completely on point. Number 5 is just, he continues to be just like that cantankerous old man in a young man's body. There's fights, there's plenty of action. There's a lot of quips and one-liners. We see a character back that we hadn't seen since the first season. There's a lot of weird and wacky shenanigans that are going on. That's the whole point of this show, is weird and wacky junk going on with people that have got superpowers. They call them a found family. They're all adopted, but they're family members. And there's crazy junk going on. And I'm assuming they're still dealing with like the time, the people who deal with like time travel or whatever. It looks fun. It just honestly looks fun. I can't wait. It's in fact, it is coming. Like I said, coming out on the 22nd. So I don't have too long to wait for this. And I won't say too much more because you don't know what I'm talking about, Ladi.
Unfortunately, no.
It's just, honestly, if you're watching The Boys and all that other stuff, it's not quite as violent. But if you're watching The Boys and all this Marvel stuff, The Umbrella Academy is a must. Like, you really should be watching this show. So I'm really looking forward to the third season. Great trailer, and we'll talk about it. In fact, Ladi, I charge you with this. Before the 22nd, you need the first 2 seasons done. And thank me after you're done watching them, so we can do a season review of season 3. Because
22nd is when it's talking about of June.
Yeah.
22nd
of June. So that's like a month from now. And
I'll try.
You can make it, trust me. But they dropped their entire season at once, so it's gonna be a tough binge, just because I don't like watching a whole lot of stuff in one shot. Anyway, we will talk about that when it drops next month. All right, so just a last little bit, because we were talking about Miss Marvel earlier, I just wanted to talk a little bit more. This is just a little bit more behind the scenes, talking about the actress Iman Vellani. I just want, again, super hyped for this show, but I kind of wanted to explain why I'm super hyped for it, related to like their casting choice and everything they're doing on the show. Well, it's pretty clear because they hire, Marvel's actually been really good about this. They don't just do diversity casting. That's clearly that they are trying harder at that. They're making this at all. The fact that they're making this at all is a big deal. Because of the ethnicity and all that other stuff and cultural difference. And also they hire behind the scenes, behind the camera, directors and writers and all that. they are, in the in this community, or the culture in the community that's being represented here. And I also like the fact that for this young lady that they are, she's Canadian, but she is a Pakistani origin, I believe. And they also, much of the cast is, of South Asian origin. But they also, what I love, so that this feature that they were talking to Iman Vellani about, becoming the character of Miss Marvel, of being Kamala Khan, and they are actually going to her for insight as to how to write the character. So, I'm an old fart. I don't know how teenagers talk. Like I always say, like, the young people say this. I don't. So she's actually been helping to shape this character as far as how her mannerisms and how she talks and the things that people her age will talk about. And Ladi, I don't know. I'm sure you've heard, or you maybe heard us talk about. This is just something that Marvel does. They did that with May Kalamawi when they were doing Layla in Moon Knight. She was in helping them inform the character so that it made more sense, that it was authentic to the character that they were actually portraying. Because I love comics. I love the comic books. I love Moon Knight, all of that other stuff. But let's be honest. For the most of them, when they were writing, people who are of different ethnicities or whatever, it's an awful lot of white dudes writing what they think they know, but they don't know, right?
Yeah.
And Miss Marvel's a different situation because it was written by a woman who lived in. She's an American, but she was converted to Islam and married to a man of Pakistani descent, and she lived there for a long time. So she understood the culture a lot more. And also, the artist was of that ethnicity also. So it's a different deal. But in here, they're trying to maintain, because not all of the writers are, that. And I just kind of love when you go through this how much Iman Vellani is. Yes, she's Canadian and she's of Pakistani origin. All that. She's got all of that culture, but also she's a gigantic Marvel nerd. And apparently kind of hero worships Kevin Feige. So, I mean, Ladi, can we ask for too much better for a leading lady in Miss Marvel? A Marvel nerd. She's almost literally is Kamala Khan. And you know her from the video game. You hear, like, what I'm describing here, doesn't that sound like Kamala Khan?
Yep. That's what you want. Casting, I feel like nowadays in a lot of superhero stuff, they're casting a lot better now. Instead of just casting, hey, this guy's popular, let's make him this guy. Or this chick is popular, let's make him this chick. They're starting to cast a lot better. Like, I keep forgetting the guy's name. The guy who just did the Batman, he took
Robert
time
Pattinson.
to actually. You're Robert Pattinson. He took the time to actually, he was a fan of Batman and took the time to learn more about Batman. They're starting to do this now where they're just not just hiring because this person's popular. They're like, it's almost like on the resume. They're like, okay, you can act, but what do you know about Batman? Oh, well, what's Batman's mom or dad? It's almost like they're giving them tests now. They're like, what's Batman's mom's name? You don't even know her name? Get out of here. It was literally a meme in the movie. Get out of here. So this, I hope that's, well, I won't say I hope, but it's starting to show that that's what they're doing more in these movies. They're adding, they're starting to actually add adding actors that actually know about the characters or actually are into the comic books to where, because one of the hardest things is sort of like in sports. One of the hardest things about anything when it comes to acting, sports, anything is the playbook, which is also the script. When you have an actor or actress that is into this shit, the script is almost like reading a comic book to them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not work. It's fun to them. It's not like, oh, did you read the script, man? I thought I read it. No, they're like, man, I read that shit 5 times. You know? So I'm happy to see this. You know?
Yeah, she had a nice little story about kind of not intending to actually even audition, but her grandmother was like, "Hey, here's check it out," and she encouraged. So she did it and won them over, and you could see like when they told her about on the Zoom call that she was going to be Miss Marvel, and there's also she talks about meeting Brie Larson and kind of being taken under her wing and all this. There's a lot to this. In other words, what I'm trying to say is, for me personally, I can connect with her as a person, getting this amazing opportunity that's kind of a dream come true, and being like a wanting to go to film school or whatever, and not really thinking acting was going to be a thing for her, but now this is her shot, right? And she's just like I said, she's a film nerd, but also a comic book nerd, and looks to Kevin Feige as sort of a role model, somebody that she's had an opportunity to sort of build a relationship with, as sort of a mentor situation, and I kind of love that. I mean, I love stories in Hollywood where people are being built up, instead of torn down. That's why I sort of wanted to end the news part on this. Is I like stuff like this. We talked about Amber Heard stuff earlier. Screw that. This is the sort of stuff I want to hear, where we're talking about someone who just loves this. They're having their dream come true and are just putting themselves into this work. And I hope that translates into something awesome when we get a look at it next week. So that's cool. Good for you, Iman, Vellani, and I can't wait to see what you do. So, all right, that's all of our news for this week. It ran longer than I thought it would, but it's all good. So, what did you guys think about what we talked about? What did you think about what we had to say? And maybe we missed some stuff and you thought we should talk about and you want us to cover it in the future. Let us know down in the comments section. And of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. All right, moving on to our main topic. And this is just some good old, I don't even want to call it speculation, just kind of luxuriating in the fact that being a comic book nerd, comic fan, a comic book movie, TV show fan is just so good right now. That's why I said the main topic is the comic book fans are eating good this summer. Just imagine, just imagine a big kid with a big old. Actually, you know what? If you want to know what it is, imagine Craig from Friday with a big old bowl of cereal and a big old spoon. That's how we eating this. We got the milk this time too. Just eating a big old bowl of delicious superhero cereal. Because this summer is stacked. Absolutely stacked with superhero stuff. Shall I count the ways, Ladi? This Friday, within day, like not kidding, June 3rd, right? We are getting the first episode of The Boys Season 3. Are you right? The Boys Season 3 is coming out.
Holy shit!
I'm sorry, not this. I'm sorry, next week, not this week.
Next Friday.
Week, yeah. Well, the June 3rd, so next week, we're getting The Boys Season 3, and also next week we are getting Miss Marvel. That's crazy, right? So, and I've been talking about Miss Marvel for some time. My most anticipated thing of the year, right? Marvel thing of the year. So within the same week, we're going to get those two things. Oh, but there's more. Umbrella Academy Season 3, June 22nd, as mentioned earlier, in the trailer review. And in June also, something that maybe a lot of you guys weren't really paying attention to, didn't really have it on your radar, but you should, because it's a spinoff of a great superhero animated movie, and that is Baymax. The Baymax series, and I saw a little trailer for it too, and a bunch of the characters, from the original are coming back, and we got new characters, but it looks really cool. So don't be sleeping on that just because it's animated. Of course, Thor: Love and Thunder, July 8th, and then on July 29th, again another animated thing that people trying to be sleeping on, but the League of Super Pets with Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart. And isn't Keanu Reeves playing Batman? So that's in July. August on August 17th, we got She-Hulk premiering on Disney Plus, and not related to any of the major studios, but there are two more superhero things. One called Secret Headquarters, which come out August 12th, and Samaritan on the 26th. Secret Headquarters is about a boy that discovers a secret superhero lair in a sub-basement of his house and wonders if his dad may have been leading a double life. And Samaritan is about a boy that thinks he's found a superhero that's kind of disappeared off the face of the earth, and that he really has been sort of, I guess, I don't know if he's homeless or something like that. And that's got Sylvester Stallone in it. So
gives me a lot of Hancock vibes.
I mean, it's very well could be. I haven't seen any trailer or anything for it. I've just only heard about it. So look, I remember a day when if you got one superhero movie in a year, you considered it a good year, right? I remember when, two or three in the same year, we'll never see that, right?
Yep.
And now we get all of this in 1 year. Ladies and gentlemen, we are eating like Diane Keaton. We are eating good. We are going to be full to the brim with superheroes this summer. And look, it's all high quality stuff. The Boys Season 3, that trailer was ridiculous. And the season looks like it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. We've talked about Miss Marvel, Umbrella Academy, Baymax. I mean, all of these things. Yes, I know She-Hulk's CG is weird looking. In 2 months, it'll probably be better, right? Ladi.
Yeah.
You know what? Who has been sacrificing? Who has been sacrificing blood sacrifice to the gods of comic book media in order for that we should have such bounty?
Honestly, it is a good time because there's only one thing that could have made this summer so much better is if Invincible was there, but we all know it's coming. We all know it's coming because I would have lost my shit.
Yes.
If Invincible was Invincible would be number one on my list immediately if it was coming back, but. Take your time. Take your time.
Right.
We are getting The Boys. Of course, my other movie is, of course, I'm excited for Lightyear. But it is going to be a fun summer for just superhero comic book stuff. Just a lot of stuff being added to, stuff that, it's like you said, who would have thought that they'll start making TV shows like this? Who would have thought they start making movies like this? And I'm not just talking about, of course, Spider-Man, in my opinion, the first non-cheesy superhero movie was 2002. Yeah, that was 20 years ago. But like you said, remember we as soon as we saw Spider-Man, we were like, Hulk is 2 years from now. We're like, oh, okay. So there was not very many superhero movies. Like you said, once, maybe twice a year. Now it's how many times a month, you know,
Right.
that we're going to get something with superhero comic lore in it, and I'm all for it. And all the people that are saying superhero movies or comic book stuff is ruining the industry, I'll say this to a lot of these directors. I mean, you don't have to. Not everything has to be pew pew explosion, blow the fuck up shit with superheroes. You can make something like the Batman, like this TV show, The Samaritan. It is probably not going to be a pew 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 explosion, blow stuff up superhero show. You could do stuff with these comic books that don't have to be that. And you know, there's all the comic books that range from all different kind of stuff that we've seen in movies. I mean, one of the guys was pissed off about it, made it about the moon crash landing into the earth. I mean, you're pissed off that superhero movies are doing better. I mean, come on now. Yeah, just saying, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I think the fact that there's a good range of offerings here, like Baymax is clearly very much for just it's family friendly. It's going to be cute and full of a lot of heart and stuff like that. League of Super Pets, same thing, family friendly stuff. On the other hand, you got The Boys, which is completely on the other spectrum in terms of its content. So there's a little something there for everybody, as far as I'm concerned. Um, I do want to ask, like, out of all, so you see this list, like, what to you, what are you most looking forward to, and just with not really having seen anything else, what do you anticipate is probably going to be the property or the movie or TV show that hits the most with fans? So, yeah, first one, what are you looking forward to most? And the second one is, what do you think that the fans are gonna, you know, uh, fans are going to, really gravitate towards?
Number one, my answer is The Boys, and number two, The Boys. I mean, it's just I mean, people are losing their ever loving mind over this thing. Man, the boys it is what it is. I feel like of all this stuff that's on this list, which is all great shows, I think the boys is gonna have the lasting impression.
Mm.
And it is I slipped my mind that the boys is coming out. Like I'm if for some reason my mind kept thinking it's coming out in July or something, but it's like, okay, shit. Never mind. I need to get excited for this, man, because I feel like I said, I've have everybody hitting me up, talking about, man, the boys, man. Did you see that boys trailer? You know, people that are not even really into superhero stuff, but they just love the TV show, The Boys, because it's a depiction of what I feel like in real life. If anybody can get superpowers, I mean, just hope that that unstable. Because basically, I'm just being honest. You know what I'm starting to notice? You know who Homelander is? Homelander is these like those unstable dudes that be shooting up the place
Uh,
at all these places. That is Homelander. You just pray to God that no one like them gets superpowers. And if they do get the superpower, they don't get Superman like powers. They at least get something useless. You know what I mean? But when they
yeah,
get Superman like powers, oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I hear that. And why? I guess I don't know that I don't know that I agree that people are gonna be that's gonna be the big fan favorite for us. Yeah, but I think probably the one that's gonna have the most reach is probably gonna be Thor. Out of it, because out of everything on that list, Thor is the one that I think people are going to be like, yeah, I'm going to go. I got to go see that or whatever. Um, of course, my most anticipated is Miss Marvel, which, by the way, I got the dates wrong on that. It's June 8th, not June 6th. So that's next Wednesday, and then not next Wednesday. Excuse me, the Wednesday after next. I Miss Marvel. Obviously, I've been talking up and down on this episode about it, but Thor seems to be like the most appealing over a wide range. I I don't know that I think it'll hit $1 billion, but I do fully expect it to make 800-900 million at least. And it would be cool if it crossed $1 billion, but I'm not so sure it can hit that. But everything else, man, like the boys, obviously, if you're in the fan community like we are, I think I think you're probably right for the fan community. Just because it's so crazy. It's such a crazy show. What's not to like? And everyone loved Peacemaker, and I expect Peacemaker-ish reception for it. So overall, everything on this list looks great. I'm super pumped for it all. And I'm just, gosh, forget going to the beach. I'm going to go sit my butt on the couch and watch all of this stuff on streaming. And I'm going to take myself to the theater so I can see Thor. So, Thor and Leave Us Super Pets, really. So, anyway, what are you guys looking forward to this summer? Are you going to just gorge yourself like we are at the trough that they have set before us? And what did you think about what we had to say about it? Get down to the comment section. Let us know what you think. And, of course, you can always hit us up. supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And while you're down there, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Join the Super Not Funny Show family. We would love to have you. Help us grow this channel. And you can always hit that notification bell to let you know when we drop new content. We do reviews and all that good stuff. And, of course, I couldn't do any of this on my own. I need my good friend Ladi to help me out. So, Ladi, where can they reach you on social media?
You can always find me on my Instagram, which is Anukinihun. It's ANUKINIHUN. Again, it's ANUKINIHUN. Like I said, I've taken a little break of uploading on my Instagram, but soon I'm about to flood my Instagram with content again, so stay tuned for that. And of course, my YouTube channel, which is KeenyHoon25, recently was gifted the new Borderlands, so to start streaming that, so you can watch the zaniness of the game.
Tina's?
Yeah, Tiny Tina Wonderlands.
Nice.
So you can witness the zaniness of Tiny Tina Wonderlands. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Watch it, like and subscribe.
Yep, you guys go and show Ladi some love. Check all of that good stuff out. And he would appreciate that. All right, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, thanks once again for joining us on the Supercast, the 52nd episode of the Supercast. Next week, I promise, we're going to have our special episode celebrating our first year and kick off our second year on the Supercast. So there'll be lots of fun. Come and check it out. Until then, I have been Mode Poupe, your resident fabricant and comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Ladi. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.